You are a superstar. Symbol of a woman who be working for herself. You are a superstar. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie. You a vlogger, fashion over. You a being one less than a mugozi. Owamie, Owamie. Owamie, Owamie.
Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's Owamie aka Miss Fia for coloring back for all entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Sorry, it's a boldly Owamie. I'm actually having some wines, okay? That's why I'm actually burping a bit. But anyway ninjas, obviously you guys know what has been going on between Cyan, Boujee, and of course her Bamzey Richies, sneaky link I should say, or boyfriend, I don't know. So I did play the space that Musa Kaula held with Bamzey Richies, and he was telling his side of the story, and now I'm gonna go ahead and play the side of the story that Cyan actually had to say. And she also you know, had her space with Musa Kaula on Twitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and load it here. It's also long. Make sure that you get those popcorn and just listen to everything that's going to be said, and then yeah, I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Good morning, everybody. I know this has been quiet wait from 10:30 to 12:30, which is fine because we are all here and I'm glad you all did not sleep. Hi, Cyan, darling.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, my baby John.
I'm good, thank you.
What a day.
Yeah.
What a day. Well, we'll get right straight into it. I want you to know that, well, obviously, this platform at this moment, it is open for you. And I believe everybody who's here is here to listen. And all I can say is, all I'm asking is basically, please give us a frame of where things started. In summary, we don't need to know everything, but just paint a picture for us of where and how things started to where we are this morning, basically.
How it started between me and the guy, meaning our relationship, or how the drama started.
I would say where how the relationship started so that it paints a picture in summary, not the full, all the details. I don't think we need that, just so that we have a picture that we can follow the story as well as you build up to what happened over the last 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so I just want to firstly make it clear that we met through the DMs and it was a sneaky link throughout. Like, it was really not a relationship for months. We met last year, around about February. And I just practically gave him a DM and I gave him a shout out in the DMs, and as he said that he has sent you the screenshot of how we actually started communicating, I believe that after me sending him a DM of a simple shout out, he just started asking about my whereabouts, where I'm from. He was just interested in my life. So there's a huge difference between giving someone a shout out and actually liking someone. So he is the one that made the first move, if I can say that. Okay. So we met in Cape Town and it just continued like that. There was literally no feelings attached. We started off simple, no fights. Obviously, you gotta do what you need to do, and I need to do what I have to do. But he just called me every time when he wanted to see me, and obviously, him seeing me, he gave me something in return. It was just like that for months, from last year February, and it all stopped last year December on the 29th when he called me and told me he wants to spend the New Year's with me, right? So he had like an entire, what can I say? He had like an entire thing planned for that vacation, if I can say, because he booked me to come to Cape Town to spend the New Year's with him, and I heard he said that I am the one that actually called him, wanting to be with him. So he called me, asked to spend New Year's with me, and because I had no plans, I didn't bother going, not knowing he had a mission. So when we get there, he books me a room, and later when we had to go out, he just informed me that there were girls that are from PTA. That him and his friends met in Cape Town actually, and the girls asked them to book for a room if needs be because they were so desperate. So that's how he put it. So there's no point where I thought he actually booked them to come to Cape Town because he was always with me from morning till noon. In fact, he told me that while we were together, his friends were with the other girls, and by sharing a room with them, like obviously the girls had to give, what can I say, they had to like have sex with the guys so the guys can pay them. So it was like just a simple transfer transaction, and that's how everything went about. So practically what I just said now is throughout the year from last year, we were just sneaky linking, and everything changed when I had to go to Cape Town for New Year's Eve with him. So that's when the whole pregnancy came in. That's when the whole rape case came in. And that's when everything just went south.
Babe, sorry to disturb you. I want you to speak specifically about the night of the 2nd of January.
Okay. So he booked me at, it was fully booked actually, and he had shared a room with his friends, like an entire apartment with his friends, and he told me that if I can like be with them, it's also fine. So that's just solid proof that I was just with him throughout, like for days of being there. So what happened is we went to the club, and I had to leave earlier because I just don't like staying at the club for at least until 7 a.m. or whatever. So he came back to the hotel that he booked for me, where he slept with me there. And because I knew and I saw that he was already with other girls in Cape Town, I just suggested that we stay using protection because he really wanted at that time to not use protection. And I had really asked him that we have never at any point not used protection. So why is it supposed to change right now? It's not like we're still going to be in a relationship or we're still going to create a relationship. There's nothing going on between us. It's just a simple sneaky link. So that's when he forced himself. He was super drunk. Let me just inform you guys on that one. He was very drunk. He was very intoxicated. And it seems like he was more into something else. Like he was just really
Like
crazy.
drugs, like drugs.
So he forced himself on me. I just simply made it clear that I do not want to have sex with him without protection. And he forced himself on me. And he said he actually wants to have a child with me, and he actually loves me, and he actually wants to have a relationship with me. He feels like he's ready to commit. And I absolutely disagree. Judging on his lifestyle, I know he can't offer loyalty. I know he can't offer anything that a person in a relationship would expect, right? So, yeah, he just simply raped me. I don't really know how to express it. As I'm very close with my manager, it was more, I was more open with him, and I was able to like share like the full details, as you guys have seen on the screenshots, that he was hardcore. And I cried, I really cried, and he just didn't care. It was like kind of like a turn on to him, and he just continued doing whatever that he was doing, and it lasted for I think an entire hour. So he said on the podcast that we were in a relationship, but also he switched and said we were all sneaky linking, and he said he didn't rape me because it was just a boyfriend and girlfriend like sleeping on one bed. But to me it was not like that. He forced himself to me, and he really said he wants to have a child with me. So I can say I passed out through after that, and in the morning when I woke up he wasn't there. But when I had to go downstairs to get food, I figured that there were securities that were actually looking out for me and waiting for me, and just like making sure that I have everything sorted, and everything everything that I needed I could have like informed them on it. So yeah, he didn't allow me to go out. He didn't allow me to buy pills. He didn't allow me to do anything at all I could do is go downstairs to have breakfast, have dinner, have lunch by the restaurant, and come backstairs. Simple as that. Whatever that I needed, maybe a makeup artist to create content, I could do that inside the room. He made it clear. So 2 weeks down the line, I test. I'm not positive. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I test, and I'm actually positive. I've I informed him, and I've never seen someone so excited before. We like, as much as we were not close, but he just automatically felt so close with me because I was pregnant, and without my own concern, actually, without my own allowance. So yeah, he was excited about it. He told me he's going to be able to maintain the child. I shouldn't worry, because that was one of my biggest worries, like, how are we going to deal with this? Because I just started with my career. It was January. I started being a DJ by what, October. Yeah. So I was focusing on that more. I really had a whole vision for myself. I really wanted to grow and be bigger, But this thing was actually going to put me at pause completely. So it was an entire sacrifice for my own career. So what happens is, um, he apologizes for the rape, and to an extent that he brings a psychologist because he saw that it actually affected me, and he brings us a psychologist so a psychologist could speak to us, and he's confessed that he's overly on drugs. His mind is going crazy. He didn't know it was wrong. He didn't know what he was doing, so he's apologizing, and he was telling the therapist that he really wants to change and become a better person, and he says that he feels like I can really be the perfect person for him because I'm understanding and I'm not like complaining and I'm not insecure. And the only reason why I wasn't insecure about his moves is because we were sneaky linking. It was a simple sneaky link, no feelings attached. So maybe girls are used to getting attached when they sneaky link with him, but I know my boundaries. If we're gonna keep to this, it's gonna be like that, right? So we then have an agreement that we're going to keep it a secret. I forgive him, just by the way, after the whole um therapy session. I forgive him about everything, and we still sneaky linking. There's no relationship. Even if he said his feelings about me, he told me how he feels. It didn't change like how I felt, and how I felt like his lifestyle wouldn't really um sustain a relationship. So we then have an agreement that we're going to keep it a secret until I give birth. So we have a healthy pregnancy and keep everything away from the limelight. So as a result of that, from April, I was going to stop my work so people won't like pick up, right? April was when I started showing. That's why I'm saying April. So from January, February, March, like I didn't show at all. So I was just continuing with my work. But April, that's when everything just started. So as a result of that, we had an agreement that we're gonna stop. So he promised to pay for me, as I couldn't pay for myself, like simple things like grocery. Obviously, I'm gaining weight, new clothes, and obviously my rent, which is the most important part. So the amount agreed between us was supposed to be 50K monthly, and even that amount isn't what I make monthly from my work, as I charge 10,000 for one set, like an entire set. So it was still not enough, but I was very grateful for it. But he failed. He failed, and he actually switched when it was about time, and said he doesn't even give his current baby mama that amount. So mind you, my rent is not even a quarter of 50,000, and I also I help out at home. I just do a lot of things. So what led me to the termination was when he came to my place and tried to kill himself with a gun. He seemed beyond depressed. Back to the first episode of him raping me. Um, he seemed entirely depressed, and even more stronger on a substance that I don't know, because he is on cocaine, but that one just seems that it seemed really crazy, and he just wanted to die. That's what he told me. He just couldn't really explain what was happening, but he told me he wanted to die. And I kicked him out of my place that day, and I was just scared. So I chose to terminate because I didn't want my baby to grow in such an environment where there's going to be threats, where I'm always going to be threatened about his life, you know? So I just didn't want that for myself. I felt like termination is bad, but it was for my own good. So, yeah, that's what happened actually for the termination and the how the pregnancy started and how the termination got on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, babes. Okay, we can move forward to possibly what happened on Sunday. If you have nothing to add about the whole situation, take us through the Sunday situation up to the arrest and whatnot.
Okay. So I just want to clarify firstly that on the podcast with you and him, he did say I did spend his birthday with him in April, but unfortunately that's false because that was the first week of April, and that I was actually admitted in hospital. So 2 months down, ne, after being admitted, because after that we cut all ties because I didn't want to stay with someone who would threaten his life, and either way he didn't want to help me support the baby at all. He just switched, so I just didn't see any necessity to stay with him. Like there was absolutely no reason. So 2 months down, he calls me, and I just really didn't want to entertain it because I was already going through a healing process. I was already traumatized from the whole termination. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's a traumatic experience, and that was one of my most traumatic experiences. So I told myself I'm just gonna move on from everything. I'm gonna heal, and I was really at peace. I was really at peace. But he continued calling, different calls, and he told me he's ready for commitment. He took me out, and it just really seemed genuine, not knowing that it was actually going to get worse. I honestly didn't know it was going to get this worse. So then we started an entire relationship, meaning communication on a daily, spoils, fun. Yes, we had our differences, moments where we would break up and get back together, but it was an actual relationship, right? So everything changes last week when I go to a meeting. I just want to make everyone clear that when you are in a relationship with someone, you actually contribute to their success. But he is just completely jealous. It's like I'm supposed to stay home and like be a hobo and like I'm not supposed to do anything. And he claims that he is the provider, but I don't see anything on the table. So I went to a meeting, a very important meeting that had to actually put bread on my table. And he video called me coincidentally when I was at a meeting. So I couldn't get back to him. And just because I couldn't get back to him, he assumed that I was busy with someone. That was his assumption. Nothing changed it. And it was 3 p.m. Just by the way. I was at a restaurant by La Parada, which is close to my place. So it didn't even take 30 minutes for me to get back to him and inform him that I was in a meeting. So he concluded that I was cheating on him, and he never spoke to me for days. He didn't speak to me for days. And in my mind, I know my worth. I'm not going to force myself. I pay my own bills. Um, this also really benefited me a lot. This meeting, it was to put bread on my table, something that he can't even do. So I didn't care. Like, I'm just really focusing on myself. And then I asked him for a specific amount 2 days after he decided to stop communicating with me. And I put the screenshot out actually, that he said he's broke. And my response was okay. Simple, okay. I asked him for money. My response was okay because he didn't have it. So this thing of him saying I'm always asking him for money, whatever, everything changed when we got into a relationship, because now it's more about loyalty, building each other, growing together. It's not about money anymore. So the sneaky linking stopped a long time ago, meaning I stopped asking him for money. So, what happens?
Sunday. What happens on a Sunday?
Oh, so remember he didn't talk to me because I was still in a meeting. Remember, he's still angry for the fact that I'm seeing someone and he's convinced that I'm seeing someone. So he decided to come to my place. And when he doesn't even inform me that he's coming to my place. The manager tells me that me and Bamzey are actually outside your door. So open your door. So it shows that they firstly came into my place without my permission. They got an access code. I don't know from who, because the apartments I live at actually they have security. So I don't know if maybe they spoke around with the security guards, but they just told me that I'm by the they're by the door. And that also shows how he always expects me to stay home and he does all the work. Like, they don't even ask me if I'm busy. So I was unfortunately busy and I was seeing someone else. And I think that changed everything when he found out that I was actually seeing someone else. Because when I came back, because he waited from morning, when I came back, I was wearing a bonnet, as you guys saw in the video, small dress with sleepers. So it just got him like he just got crazy. Like, everything just switched up. And that's when he started crying. We got inside. I found out the manager's not even there, as he claimed that he was there with Bamzey. And if I knew that Bamzey was there alone, just by the way, I wasn't gonna come, because I also want to inform you guys that at some point, a month ago in Cape Town, we did have a physical fight, because he locked me in a room for. He didn't lock me, but he left me in a hotel for 2 days, just because I found out that he was cheating. And what I expected, as you know that already, like, I know that we were sneaky linking, so I'm not expecting loyalty from him, but at least, like, explain like why um I find such chats between you and like certain people in the DMs. So he got so angry that I found out, and he left me for 2 days in the hotel with no charger. We were sharing the charger together. I was hungry. I didn't eat for 2 days, and that was our first physical fight. So this one wasn't our first physical fight. That's what I wanted to clarify. We had a physical fight before, when he came 2 days after, when he left me by the hotel, just by checkout time, and he just packed his bags and wanted to leave. So I just wanted to know, like, why did you leave me, like, um, at a place I don't know? And he said I was trying to push him down the 26th floor, I don't know, something like that. And I just want to inform you that since these things are happening, people are killing themselves by going to hotels and jumping down. They've actually made this thing where they put the windows, like, they lock them at a specific distance, so you can only take out maybe a cigarette or something. You can't even throw a bottle outside the window. That's how secure the windows are. So that's also proof that he was just faking it. He was telling people that I was trying to kill him. So that's absolutely not true. So it happens that, fast forward to when he came to my place, he started crying and telling me I'm cheating on him. So I just made it clear that if a nigga is not gonna help me out when I need you, but when you need me, I'm gonna have to avail myself. We're really not dating. It's not a two-way string. It's one-sided. So yes, I am seeing someone else. So he just got too angry. It got him crazily angry that he started pushing me. He started pulling my bonnet and throwing it out, checking if I'm even wearing a panty, just to really confirm that I was seeing someone. And I made it clear that yes, I was seeing someone else that night. It was absolutely like that. I was losing feelings day by day, because how does someone not want to, like, make me succeed in life? It's like you want me to stay in one position and you have to just do what you need to do. So it didn't make sense to me. So I was losing feelings day by day, and I wasn't interested in him at that time. And he started taking me videos saying I'm manipulating him, and my silence on that video was just me being numb from everything. just everything. I didn't even have anything to say. I think if I was really guilty, I would have like tried to take his phone away or try to stand up for myself and say this. I was just numb. So I also want to say that that was before the incident, because there was no blood on my body, on his body, and on the kitchen, as I have put the video out to be. So that was before the incident, when he took the video of me asking me why I'm manipulating him and all that stuff. So fast forward to, yeah, when he just made it clear that he's gonna kill me, and he's also gonna kill himself because our relationship is not working out and he just wants to be with me. So he's gonna kill him, and he's gonna kill me and then kill himself. So my thing is, you have a son, you have a child. So practically, when you have a child, you're not living for yourself anymore. So I'm advising him that, like, someone is you living for someone. So even if you kill me, I have siblings that are looking up to me. So why would you be so selfish? If it's not working, it's simply not working. Like, simple, it's not working. And he was holding a knife and he started poking me on my belly, and he was just throwing things around, throwing my chair around. He was just being too dramatic, and I just didn't want to entertain it. So what happened for him to get that scar on his head? He called his manager and he was suicidal. He told his manager that he's done with life, he's done. And his manager is actually the witness, but obviously, as he is the manager, he has to stand up for the guy regardless, because he gives him the money, right? But he knows very well that he called him and he was suicidal. He told him he's done with this life. He can't believe I've heard him like that and all that stuff. And I took the vase that was close to me and I hit him on the head, because I'm protecting myself. I'm scared. Like, anything could happen to me. Even if he was unconscious, even if he died at that point, I still wouldn't regret it the way I'm not regretting it right now, because I was standing up for myself. I was scared that I was gonna die. Someone is threatening my life and he's threatening his life. So now that's when I got the biggest beating of my life. Like, yeah, yeah, you know what, that's when I actually experienced a lot. So the neighbor that he's talking about, that is the witness. I'm actually happy that he spoke about it. The neighbor actually saw every single thing. He saw how he kept on screaming, how he kept on changing things, and how he kept on saying that I'm cheating on him and all that stuff. And I made it clear that if you are not going to provide for me, we are not in a relationship. You benefiting, I'm not. It's not a two-way string. So we are just not doing anything. So he started hitting me. He started hitting me to the core, on my head, on top of my head, on my waist. You know what? He scratched me so badly on my face and just made it clear that even if we don't fix things, no guy will ever like me or be within a relationship with me. And he started hitting me, and he started hitting me on my arm. So the arm was injured by the glass that he broke on top of my head. So that's when the neighbor just kept on knocking and knocking and knocking and knocking. And he had my phones with, just by the way. So even on the recording where he was taking a video of me saying I'm a manipulator, he had both my phones on him. If you can check properly, none of my phones were there. And he had broken he broke the first one, and jumped on top of it just to make sure it completely cracks, right? And he had the other one on his in his pocket. And yeah, man, he just, I don't know. It's, you know what, even if I can say, even if like we don't know much about his past drama and whatever, but you can already see that someone like that has been through such a situation, because he already knows that the first thing you do when you're about to fight with a girl, you take her phones and then you're the one that does the recordings. Like it's like he plans these kind of stuff, right? So I run to the door. I open. When I open, he had the knife on because he was ready to poke me on my belly, and the neighbor also witnessed that. And that's when he threw it away and started screaming about his little scar, like on his forehead, like my blood, my blood, my blood, whatever. Well, I was also bleeding on my tummy and on my hand, and actually on my head, on top of my head, on my hair. So he runs out, and when he runs out, he comes back in, and the neighbor just asked for us to go our separate ways because he's just gonna call the security right now. So it's either he's gonna go to the the net care first, and then since I live here, I have to actually stay with the key and let the security hear what actually happened before I could go, because I wasn't screaming, I wasn't, it was just like normal pain, as I am obviously used to pain. So it wasn't like a big issue to me. So he then came back in when the neighbor was calling, and he got distracted by the call. And when he came back in, he locked me inside. And just by the way, the apartment he's talking about that he pays for, which is absolutely not true, has cameras all over. So there is a camera fully showing that he took the key, he took all my phones, and he locked me inside. He locked me inside. I don't know. In my mind, I didn't know where he was going, whether he was going to call the police or go to the net care first. So I lived front opposite the net care. It was easy for him to quickly walk there to get everything sorted out. So I was communicating with the security through the door, like while the door was locked. So that was my last spare key. The security didn't have an extra key for me to go out. So we just waited. I asked him to call the police. We waited and waited and waited. And they just asked me not to remove anything at all. So, which is what I didn't do. But I had to change my clothes. That's what I did. So, maybe an hour after, the police came in. So he opened the door and they told me I'm under arrest for GBV and all that stuff. And I just told them one thing. I'm like, firstly, my phone is with him and my key is with him. And this is my place. He came in without my permission. So if you guys are going to arrest me, knowing very well that I couldn't place a charge against him because he knew the plan and he took all the things that I could use to open a charge against him. If you guys feel like it's okay for you to arrest me while seeing all this proof, then it's okay. So I got arrested. They took me in. When we went downstairs, nigga changes. He's like, okay, let's not arrest him. Let's change things. I just want him to stay away from him. I want him to leave me. I want him to do this. I want him to do that. And you know what? I'm numb in my mind. I just want to sleep. I'm going through a lot. I don't even have time to stand up for myself. Whatever happens, happens. I know that the reason why I hit him was to stand up for myself, and I was gonna say it on court because they made it clear that whatever I say right now, they could use it against me in court. So I should just pack my things and go with them. He switches. He's like, nah, let's not arrest him, but let's just make sure you guys tell him to leave me alone. So now the police is asking him, if you saying that she should leave you alone, aren't you the one that came to her place, took her property, and locked her inside her property? So his stories just didn't add up. Like, his stories didn't add up, and the police just decided that they're gonna take us both to the police station. So I signed that he doesn't want to get me arrested anymore. Okay, cool. So we got into the van. There was a policeman sitting in the middle of us. He's that other side. Now he shows me how he has hacked my accounts. He is showing me everything, that yeah, this is why I hacked your accounts, this is why I did this is why I did that. You are not going anywhere. I'm gonna make sure you fall to the core. I have worked so hard for my followers. So hard. So hard. So I decided that, I was out of control, and I fought him for that, because that's when I realized that, wow, he was the one that actually cloned and did everything to my account, and he was showing me out of spitefulness. So I hit him in front of the police, and that's when they were like, "Hey girl, you're a bit violent, so let's just take you to the cells for a few hours and then we'll see how it goes." I go to the cell. um they took all my phones, and the other one actually that was broken, they just said if I decide to open a case, they also gonna use it as evidence. So I didn't want to open a case. You know, cases take so much time. I've been through this before with an ex-boyfriend. So in my mind, you'll get your revenge as a human being. Like, I'm just gonna let you go. I didn't want to open his case as much as he opened a case against me. It was really not what I was willing to do. Um, so I stayed in the cells. I didn't stay for 12 hours. I didn't even stay for 5 hours. I stayed really for a few hours, and I was just called out, and informed that you were found innocent. And that's when I saw him. Like, that's how I got my phone back and was able to take him videos as he was taking videos of me while he had my phone with. So I finally had the power. So everything switched. Like, it was so crazy because when they took me out, they had him in and found him guilty also for his other stuff. Like, I don't know, they had him guilty, and the police also advised me that I should open a case against him because he might not drop the case against me. And wow, it was a plot twist. I didn't expect that. But he was actually arrested for the night. And I was taken out. So while I was taking the video of him being arrested, I was actually just getting fingerprints and getting charged to go out. When I go out, that's where I got the worst threats of my entire existence. This is my brother. Random calls. This is my brother. If you don't take him out today, we'll make sure you end your life. We know you have a mother. You know we live in Mami Loyi. Wara, wara, wara. Threats, threats, threats. Threats that was so big that I actually had to go back to the police station at 3 a.m. in so much pain. In so much pain. I'm still in so much pain. I still have blood to remove around my apartment. I still have so much to do. And in the morning, I have court. But I was threatened to a point where I had to actually leave. The manager, wherever he is, he's actually from Bloom. He actually got me an Uber to make sure I go to the police and take him out at 3 a.m. He got arrested at around 8 p.m. So also his Nigerian friends were also waiting by the police station to see that I'm really going in. So luckily the policeman that I got, I told him my situation. I'm like, yo, I'm getting threats. Can you just take the guy out? Because I'm scared. Like, I don't want to die, bro. Like, I have a long life to live, you know? So I'm not trying to die. Like, I'm trying to get myself out of all this trouble. And I'm just trying to be far away from him. So that's just all I longed for, honestly. I don't want long court cases. I don't want all the drama. I just longed for peace. So the policeman told me to call the manager. And he made it clear that firstly, this guy is not your God. And even if he is your God, but he's not ours. We're not gonna go with what you guys are gonna say. And he was telling the manager that even if I had to withdraw the case now, it doesn't mean now the police has to take him out because I withdrew the case. They say it doesn't work like that. In the AMs, actually, maybe I could come in the morning. And he was just telling him where to get off, like with everything, because I was um arrested. Nobody was threatening him. Nobody was telling him to take me out. He was at peace. He was enjoying his life. But now I have to go through so much. It's 3 a.m. I have to sleep. Like, you know what? I'm just going through a lot. So the policeman was just honestly standing up for me. And he made it clear that if anything happens to this girl, he will unfortunately be arrested for long term, like for a long time. So let this girl go. Let this girl be. And if anything happens to her, you guys, all of you guys will get arrested because now I know that you are threatening her to take your brother out. All right. In the morning, I have to go to court now because he has a court case against me. And then my lawyer calls me and he informs me that Cyan, Honor, they are willing to give you any amount of money to take him out. Any amount. And I mean, any amount. I mean, I can just easily get any
A
amount,
hundred
fix my
thousand,
stuff.
100,000 start.
Sorry?
I'm saying 100,000 start.
But let me tell you. So I suggested that I actually wanted 60,000. 60,000. So the manager explained to me that obviously he can get me that amount because his accounts have been hacked for, not hacked, man, they've been blocked. Yeah, his accounts have been blocked. I think that's why he failed to send me that small amount that I needed and said he's broke. But his accounts have been um blocked completely. So they negotiated. I had to meet with their friends, all his friends, and my lawyer and the policeman that got me arrested. Like, we met all together at the hospital because I also needed to know how much all these injuries could cost, like for them to, make sure that I'm at a good state, I'm properly taken care of, good medication. Yeah, and I went for a private hospital because, yeah, I made sure, So I negotiated. I was like, first amount is gonna be 60,000 for my phone, for my property, um, for everything, for the damages on my body. I'm gonna charge you guys 60,000. And then they explained that the amount that they're gonna give me, they all gonna combine as friends because Bamzey doesn't have any amount. Wara wara wara. So please, I should just like take it down. And we negotiated for the whole morning to 23,500. But let me tell you guys, that's not the amount I wanted at all. And they actually promised that when he goes out and his accounts get unblocked, he will send me the rest of the money. So, man, honestly, also I want peace anyways, and plus I have, my money. So I didn't really need money. I was just like, as long as I get peace and stuff. So also before they met with me, he had already withdrawn the case against me. I don't know why he withdrew the case against me. And I just all of a sudden got a message from the police station that it has been withdrawn. Okay. So then now the ball is in my court. It's either I'm gonna let him stay for a few days, or I'm just gonna take the amount and we go our separate ways. That was the conclusion that we had. And okay, they negotiated from 40 to 29 to 23 finally. And I was like, okay, it's cool. Um, that's when we went to fetch him at the police station, and I had to sign papers. So it took quite some time. We also went to court to sign all these papers. All his friends were convincing me that they've also been through these kind of situations with their girlfriends. We will get along. Wara wara wara. It's just out of love. You see that these niggas just live like this. Like, this is how they live. So they just care about money. And they actually thought this time that them having to pay the police was going to get him out. That's why they couldn't get him out. That's why they had to beg me to take him out. Um, so yeah, that's what happened. He got out. When he got out, he came to me straight up. I have a protection order against him still now currently. He came out, and the police actually witnessed him coming and apologizing and telling me he's gonna call me, he's gonna make sure that we fix things, he's so sorry for everything that he has done, he has learned his lesson, whatever. So the police just took him away, and his friends just took him away, and that's how we went our separate ways. He then calls me, apologizes, and now he's calling me to apologize because remember, he knows that I live alone, and then he knows that the other phone is broken. So I have nothing to record our conversations unless maybe he didn't think about the microphone or whatever. So he was really confident in whatever he was saying. And you could just see that, man, he's not really apologetic because he couldn't give me even like a week or two to just like a break. okay, re tinahane, like, ya tsela ha o le nna ke tsela, re no nahana, just take our time off. No, he didn't do that. He called me immediately when he got home and when I got home, and he started apologizing. He's like, he's really sorry for everything. He doesn't know why he did that. Just after taking a nap from all the pain, finally I rested after so many days of not sleeping. There's something on one of the gossip pages. So on their side, they explained everything, how much he paid me, how much this and that and that. So obviously, I knew it was gonna blow. It was gonna blow. So I had to also stand up for myself and say my side of the story. So yeah, that was actually what happened between me and Bamzey Richies.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Oh, well, I told you that I will not be asking any questions, but this is just for you to clarify and put things to
Yes.
perspective in the way that you can, because everything has been all over the show, and I'm not putting Togo from from everything that has happened. And well, I am sorry it had happened, and yeah, but there is one question that I have, and I promise it will probably be my final question. I want you to tell me about the statement. Remember when you wrote a statement?
Yes.
Uh, Take me through that. What was that all about? Just briefly, if you can.
So when it was released that I was pregnant without my consent, people started assuming different baby daddies. Firstly, it was the guy I was in a relationship with all over social media, then different guys and this and that and that. So he also had rumors, obviously, people telling him different stuff about me. So he was really, really sad and wanted official proof that he was the baby daddy and I've been with him alone. So he forced me to put out a statement. Firstly, I didn't want to put out a statement. I wasn't even willing to explain anything to anyone. You know what? I'm at that point. I'm at that point. I don't want to explain. I don't want to put out a statement. Even now, I was offered to put out a statement today, but I just didn't want. I just felt like it wasn't necessary for me to do it. But he forced me to do it, so I can just prove to him that he's the baby daddy. So I had to put out a statement for him. Um, so it was just practically proof for me to show that I was in a relationship with him and I was loyal throughout our relationship. And he also just put it out that we planned the baby daddy. He wanted me to, he put it in that way that it was like an entire plan, of which it wasn't. It was his plan alone. So yeah. Yeah, that's why I had to put out a statement to prove to him, not even to people. It wasn't even about people, it was about him.
All right, thank you so much for that. And I think that also, if you don't have anything else to say, obviously, I think that would also bring us to the end of this space. So, any final words before we close?
So I just want to firstly, like, I realized how much he has brought up my past, to kind of like stand up for himself about the situation and paint me as the bad guy. Let me tell you guys something. You know what, I have not been through as much drama as you guys think I have been through. Just that you guys put it out like on social media that I am in this kind of situation, I'm in this kind of drama, and you guys make me trend. It's not like I force myself to make myself trend. I do things, I do good things in my life. I'm a founder of Reaching Out Foundation. I've never trended for that. I do good to people, I give out to the community. I've never trended for that. But anyways, you guys always find the bad in me. So I just want to make it clear that I've never actually ever in any incident that I've had wanted any kind of attention, any kind of clout. In fact, I have had followers way before I've started trending. And I just also want to make it clear that I've only been through 3 physical fights in my life and on social media too, which was with my ex-boyfriend 3 years ago. And you can imagine that after that whole situation with me and him, I've dated so many guys after. I've never fought with any guy. And after, it was like a stupid tavern owner who just really fought with me, and not only me alone, but my whole team. So then he also fought with me just recently and throughout this relationship. But he's making it seem like I'm always into drama. I'm always putting myself into drama. I don't put myself into drama. I don't make sure that I am the first one on Twitter being put out there about my situations. I don't. And it doesn't make me feel good, obviously. It makes my reputation bad. And I want you guys to know that I don't gain anything from it. In fact, I lose a lot of brands. A lot of brands don't work for me. As he also said that I'm doing this to gain cloud, I'm doing this to gain gigs. No marketer would actually book me just because I'm trending for such a situation. So I'd never want to put myself in such a situation. I've never wanted in my entire life to trend for the wrong reasons, but unfortunately I've had the bad luck for people to always find the wrongs in what I do. I do good. There are some cases where I do good. These things that people start about me are just false. Like, even if they, I mean, okay, they're not false, but even if they true, they just like make it bigger than what it is. And what's good, they can just they mize. You'll just make sure that you mize it. Everyone just mize whatever that I do that's good. So yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify. I'm not following his cloud. In fact, no one knew him before me because he buys all these followers. He's used to
Uyayivake
scamming
ngoku.
people.
Uyayivake ngoku.
We
Uyayivake
didn't know
ngoku.
him. We didn't know him. So he's claiming that I'm looking for cloud. What cloud from him? What cloud am I looking from him? What cloud am I looking from this guy? We didn't know about his existence. Me either. I didn't even know about his existence before until I had to see him in person. So like, this whole narrative, like, is just crazy. It's just too crazy. I also don't know why my life is like this. I also have so many questions about my life. Why I always have to be put in drama. It's never my intention. It's never ever my intention. So yeah, I just wanna clarify that part, that we didn't know about his existence. So I'm not following any cloud. And in fact, he doesn't even have a quarter of my exposure, or even 1%. you know. So yeah, I just don't want to be shady, but yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Cyan, for coming through and telling your side. And thank you guys for staying up till late to hear Cyan's side of the story. And I feel like onendlebe uzwile and yeah, thank you so much. Good night, guys.
I just want to also say something before we finish, ne? He has really put out a lot of different screenshots about me, and I need you guys to know that he still has access to all my accounts: YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Instagram, maybe he made sure that he completely removes it, like completely. I can't have Instagram anymore. And you know what? I'm gonna start all over. It's gonna be a proof that I'm gonna grow from this. I grow from every situation. I'm not gonna beg him to bring my accounts back. I'm not gonna beg him, but I'm just gonna get myself a new phone and I'm gonna start all over again. But he has all access to my accounts. I mean it when I say all kinds of access. So whatever that he's put out, screenshots, etc., of me saying this and that, absolutely false. There is also a screenshot where he put out that I was talking about my status, my HIV status. So I want to prove to the world that, like, the way it's absolutely not true. I don't even mind going to the doctor to show my status to the world, because he has made it seem like I'm just a bad person that, like, doesn't do anything with her life, and I'm just following men, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I work for myself. I work for myself. I work for my brand. And just by the way, I don't only make money from gigs. I make money from promotions. I make money from people doing my makeup for free, um, and paying me in return, from hair to giving me free clothes. I make money from that. So you should understand that, like, I don't depend on any man for anything. I depend on myself. I'm very independent. You should know that. And you should know that I am willing, Musa. I know you said to him that you don't want to expose this whole HIV thing, but I don't mind. I don't mind proving to the world, because I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't mind at all.
Well, I'm still gonna say the same thing. I don't think there's a need. You can go to the clinic for your own sake, but I don't think anybody needs to see that. And yeah, I don't think we need to really go that far, 'cause that's really sensitive. Everything is sensitive actually, but I just feel like that is like all the way at the end of the sensitivity spectrum. I'm still saying the same thing. If you feel like you need to go there, you can go sort yourself out or whatever. it doesn't matter. But we really don't need to see that. I love drama. I live for it. But that
Of
I think that
course.
is where that is where I draw the line. Probably the only line I will ever draw. But enye nenye
100%.
is yakal.
100%. Thank you so much for everything. And I wasn't doing this for people to choose sides or like believe this and that and that. I was just doing this to hear the air. Whatever people think, it's still fine. I'm not trying to change anyone's perspective. People will still hate me regardless of this and say their own options. But I will unfortunately just move on from this situation.
So I suppose you should promote yourself. This is everybody must go follow you. Come on, girl, don't sleep on the bag.
Sweeties, my new Instagram account is cyan.boujee24. I just added like it's my normal Instagram account, but like with the 24 at the end. Please make sure you follow me. Check me out on Instagram. I don't have a Twitter account. TikTok, I do have a Cyan Boujee. YouTube, check me out. It's actually Boujee Space. And I would upload a video soon about my healing journey from everything.
I think that's about it. Good night, darling. Lalin Gashishe. We've had a night. We'll chit chat tomorrow. Bye.
We are tired. We are really tired. Thank you
Show
so
me.
much.
Ninjas, when it comes to this situation, I won't even lie, I'm kind of believing Cyan Boujee a little bit more. The way that she's talking, you can see that she's not even like trying to tarnish Bamzey Richies. She's not trying to get other external factors, and sometimes like that's one of the things that I've actually realized. You know, like she's not trying to say, oh, you have fought this person, or you have fought that person, you have done this, you have done. She's just saying the her side of the story. There's also an audio that I had, a phone call where it was Bamzey Richies actually apologizing to Cyan, which she's saying he apologized after this whole incident actually happened. At this point, I just feel like, you know, sometimes men will honestly try to just tarnish your name completely. That whole HIV status, whatever situation, I felt that was super uncalled for. But anyway, I'm not even going to get into that chende. But I won't lie, guys, I am actually saying that I feel like I believe Cyan Boujee a little bit more. And I'm quite surprised that she's saying that, you know, she was doing this and that, like the good things. We don't know about them because they're not even really spoken about, you know. Of course, our blogs were gonna want the drama, but at the same time it's like, yeah, her reputation is not really looking too good at this moment, and I do feel sorry for her because she's still so young, you guys. She's still going to grow and all this stuff, you guys, like they stay for life, you understand. So yeah, definitely everything that is going on, I do have to say, as much as, and I'm not even saying that I'm believing her because of she's a woman or she's a South African. No, I'm honestly just believing her because of her side of the story. I feel like makes more sense than the side that Bamzey was actually like saying, you know. I feel like there are certain places where obviously information, everybody lied, you know, like when Cyan actually lied about, like, you know, having a miscarriage whilst she knows that she actually terminated. You know, obviously the statement that she put out, that also shows us that girl can actually come out here and boldly lie to us. It is unfortunate that she did lose her Instagram account, which I feel like had the most followers from her of all her social media platform. But she worked from scratch from the first one. She will work again, and I'm sure she will get there and she will surpass. I don't see these two actually breaking up, honestly, I won't lie. I was quite shocked that, you know, she's paying 20,000 rands for an apartment, and that apartment does not even look luxe. And when I'm saying luxe, it's a very beautiful apartment. It's luxury, but I feel like for 20k you should actually be like in like some biggest place with like, it just looked like a place where you can pay like 10,000 rands, 10.5, 11,000. I would not expect that place to be 20,000. But then again, we didn't see the whole house, but I did see that even the kitchen was not that big. So why would you pay 20,000 for a place that is not even that big? Maybe, I guess, you know, they're just paying for maybe the estate or whatever. I don't know, guys, but wow, that's a lot of money. But anyway, girls, the Benz and Tombo, and yeah, try to select guys that are really not too much for the social media, you know, because they will embarrass you, and it's quite sad. And when you just go ahead and comment down below what you guys think. Obviously you guys had the space, I put 2 up, so I feel like I was very fair everybody will make their own decision on who they choose to believe and what they want to believe. Anyway, from me, Owamie, and I will see you guys in my next episode. I love you so much. Bye, ninjas.